everyone, and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. This is Nancy, and in this video we are going to be talking about a dreaded disease called Aster Yellow's disease. In this video we're going to talk about how to identify it and what to do and what causes it. So the first thing that I wanted to tell you is that it is called Aster Yellows because it will mainly attack flowers in the aster family. Now we're standing here looking at my coneflowers, and coneflowers are indeed in the aster family. So you can see this is a somewhat normal looking coneflower, but look at this one. Do you see the difference? Look at that. It just doesn't grow right. So this is a bacterial infection, and it is spread by the green grasshopper or leafcutter grasshopper. So if you find this on your plant, what do you need to do? The only thing you can do is pull it out by the roots. So every bit, I will follow this down, and everywhere I see Aster Yellows, I will pull this out and throw it away. Do not compost it. Put it in I double bag it and put it in the trash can. I had actually found just a little of this last year, and I pulled the plants, I bagged them, put them to go out for trash, and I thought I had eradicated the problem. So I moved some coneflowers to a net. Oh good, it's starting to rain. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Well, we may have to finish this video up later, but I will show you that the plants I thought were okay were not. So these will also be pulled, including those there, and I am going to let God water my garden. We will just finish this in a minute. You know, as a mama, you're always doing two things at one time. So while we're waiting on the rain to stop and we can go back out in the garden, I wanted to show you how I have started cutting a watermelon. So basically I peel it, and I'm 60 years old. My entire life I have been cutting it in half, then cutting it in quarters and doing it like that. But I am telling you, this is a great way to do your watermelon. So I get a good thick towel out, have a good knife, I start cutting it, I'll get all the rind off, and then I just cut it up and I put it in a container. I do put some paper towels on the bottom to soak up the water, but you know, for the next 4 or 5 days, Cameron and I are going to be eating really good watermelon. So I have this entire watermelon peeled, and this is how it looks. So some pieces are big, some pieces are little. I'll probably go back and cut this right here off. I don't like any white on our watermelon. But the next step for me, I'll get out a clean drying towel. I'll put this on it, take this out to the chickens, and then I will get this watermelon cut up and show you what it looks like. Okay, this is where we are. I've still got to cut that little piece off, but I'll just put it in the trash. I found a container, and now we're going to go and give these peels to the chickens. So let's just head out the back door, and we can look at flowers on the way. Look at the pretty geraniums. Oh, the crepe myrtles. I can see these crepe myrtles out of my kitchen window, and I just think that they're so gorgeous. This daylily is called Big Bird because it's so big and yellow. Isn't that gorgeous? So let's run out, give the chickens a treat. Oh, looks like our blackberries falling down a little. Oh, but look, they're just loaded. Gotta come out and pick blackberries. I'll send Cameron out to do that. Look at that. Those are just really, that one is perfect right there. Oh, I wish I had about 3 cups of those to make a cobbler with. Hey girls, are y'all ready for a treat? Are y'all ready for a treat? Look here. Look what I got for you. Look at there. Look at there. I have got some broody hens over there. Look at that. Broody, broody, broody. And I don't have a rooster, so there's not any chance that they can hatch eggs. But they still want to be mamas. Is it good? Is it good? You like it? Yeah, you like that? Yay! Yay! Look at there. Good, isn't it? Before we go back in the house and finish the watermelon, I just want you to look at this liatris and these gladiolas. This is, I'm telling you, I'm going to dig these up. Next year, I'll let them grow, I'll let them finish out this year in this raised bed. But boy, I'm going to dig these up and put these together in different places in my garden. You talk about the perfect flowers for a cottage garden. I just love these two. I think those are so pretty. And this is how I cut my watermelon. I just cut it in long strips, and this is the pan that I'm going to put it in. Now, you can cut it as any way that you want. You can make, I've even seen people like make balls out of it if they're going to do something fancy. But this, I'll take it out, and then Cameron wanted some, so I went ahead and got him some out. And all you have to do is just cut it into bite-sized pieces. But for me, if I have fruit cut and prepared in the refrigerator, then I'm actually a little bit more likely to eat fruit instead of grabbing something that's in high calories. But, and another thing, do you all eat salt on your watermelon? I grew up eating salt on my watermelon, and I love it. I've even heard of people putting pepper on their watermelon. So tell me, do you eat salt on your watermelon? Okay, this is finishing up the part of the Aster Yellows. This is about as perfect of an example as I have in my garden of what it looks like. Every bit of this is Aster Yellows, and every bit of this came from the original area that I showed you where I thought I had pulled all of the affected plants, and then I went ahead and transferred it to other parts of my garden. Well, this is what happened. So they are everything is getting pulled and bagged. And I wanted to tell you, there's not really anything that you can do to prevent this. It's not anything that you've done wrong as a gardener. Like I said, it's a bacterial infection. It's carried by a little lanternfly. And this is just this is a perfect example of what this looks like. This is supposed to be the pink coneflower or echinacea. So let me show you what my next project is. The next project that I'm going to do, I am going to put some corn in the freezer. I like to do just a couple of bags a year because I like to have it for holidays. My family just love cooked corn is what we call it, or fried corn. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I need to go get a trash bag, and then I will start shucking this corn. I am going to do it on the front porch so it's not so messy. Just the little bit of rain that we had has cooled things off, so it's not so bad out here. This is my shucked corn. I think this is peaches and cream. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. We have been eating this for about a week, and I'm telling you, I've eaten it for lunch and dinner. It is so, so, so good. Now, before we take this in the kitchen, I wanted to tell you a new way to cook your corn. And I've been seeing this for years online, and I just kind of doubted it myself. But this year I decided I'm going to try it. So I left one piece of corn out. So what you do is I take a pair of scissors and cut off this part right here, just like the tail end of that, because you know, and I put down paper towels in my microwave so it doesn't get dirty. You don't wash it, you don't do a thing to it except cut the long tails off. Put your corn in the microwave for 4 minutes. You're going to need some heating pads or pot holders to take it out because it's going to be extremely hot. You're going to take it out. I usually lay mine on a towel, and then you take the, you shuck it. It is ready to go. It is perfect. It is delicious, and I'll tell you what, it's dangerous because it's so easy to fix a piece of corn, and then you've got the tomatoes, and for me that's a good dinner, which, you know, full of carbs. But another thing that I wanted to tell you, I do not have a lot of freezer space. We'll let Mr. Loud Truck get by. I do not have a lot of freezer space. If I did, this corn is beautiful, it's perfect, it would be good like for cookouts or whatever to sit on the table. But you can just take and cut an end off here, an end off here, put it in your freezer bags, put it in the freezer. You do not have to do a thing to it. And if I had room in my freezer, that is exactly how I would do mine, but I don't. So I'm going to be blanching this and cutting it off the cob, and I'll show you that process, and then bagging it and putting it in the freezer. So let me show you what I have done. I brought my corn in, and this is cold water. I'm going to wash my corn here, and as I wash it, I am going to rub my hand up and down it some more to try to take off as many silks as possible. And I do use a little vegetable brush on it also. So I will wash my corn. I'm going to put it back into this container. I have already started my pot on the stove, so just as soon as this gets boiling, we'll be ready to go. Now, I'll have my corn back over here, which you'll see in the next step. I'm going to put it in here for 2 to 3 minutes. This is a process called blanching, and you just want to start it to cook, and then you have to stop it. So the next step from here, which I'll use these tongs to get it out with, I've got tongs to get it out, I will come and I will fill this up with an ice bath, which is just cold water with ice in it. And then I'll put it back into here and let it drain, and then I'll start cutting it off. I hope that this hasn't isn't a complicated process. Once you've done it a couple of times, like, you could probably do it in your sleep. But I am trying to do step by step in case somebody wants to put some corn up. And I wanted to show you, look at these Dolly Parton roses. I just had to bring some in to put there by the sink. I think they're so pretty. That really did not take long at all. So I have all the corn. I ended up with 20 ears, and I'm not sure how many packs that'll make, maybe 5 or 6, I'm guessing. I did get a half cup measuring cup out because I may do like 1.5 or 2 cups per bag, but I wanted to show you. I picked these up at the Dollar Tree. Of course, they're $1.25, but look how cool this is. You can circle the month and the year, and then of course write corn on that. But I just thought that was really nifty. Now, you do need a good knife to cut this off, and you're going to need an apron because it goes everywhere. So I usually, what I'll do is I'll have my corn over here, I'll put my bowl here to cut it off, and cut it off down in the sink. That way it's going to splash everywhere. So anyways, it looks like the water is coming to a boil pretty soon, and this is just plain water. There's no sugar, there's no salt, you don't do anything. It's just plain water. It's going to come to a boil. You're going to I'll probably take about 3 ears of corn at a time, put it in that. I'm not even going to set a timer. I'm just going to I kind of know, cook it 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'll have my bath water ready over there, the ice bath water. And then we'll be putting up corn. Okay, the first batch was 4 ears. This is what I want it to look like. Take it out, put it in the ice bath. Take it out, put it in the ice bath. Repeat. Repeat. And then 4 more go in. And I'm telling you, this it will not take you long at all. So I have 20 ears. I'll do this 5 times. It'll be done. Now, if you feel like your ice bath is getting cool, just let out the water and put some more ice in it. And then that's what it's going to do right there. And then when I get this process done, we'll be cutting it off and bagging it. Okay, this is what I have cut so far. And as you can see, it hadn't gotten too much of a mess. I did put a towel here in front of me, but I saved 1 piece of corn because I wanted to demonstrate how I cut my corn. So you sort of want to cut maybe about, I would say, 1/3 of the corn off, because then you are going to rake your knife over this, and I just don't cut mine all the way down to the cob. I sort of do it like that, and you just do it in cuts that you are comfortable with. Obviously, depending on how you hold your knife, you could cut a wider strip or a more narrow strip. So I get it all cut off, and then holding it downward because of the spray, I simply take my knife and I go all the way around it, just like that. Turn it around to the other side, and then there we go. That is what it looks like. I have a trash can right here to my left. It goes in the trash. And now I'm going to wash my hands and we're going to start bagging, and we're just about finished. And this is the final step. So I have my bags ready, and I just have to open it up, and I hold mine over the corn. And I went ahead and did one. Turns out that this 1/2 cup is just perfect to put it in this plastic bag. So we'll do 4 of these, and that will be 2 cups. Just like that. So we don't want any air in it. We just sort of get all the air out of it. Do it like that, and then for purposes of putting it in the freezer, I'm going to flatten it out like that so that I can stack it and it can lay down. But I'll finish this up, and then I will show you how many bags we ended up getting. Okay, so there it is. I ended up with 7 bags of corn instead of 6. I was pretty close. So out of 20 full ears, I was able to get 7 containers that were approximately 2 cups apiece. And I'll probably go ahead and do this one more time this year because I would like a little bit more corn than this. Now, like I told you, there was absolutely no seasoning in this corn. So when you get ready to prepare it, that's when you put your butter, your salt, your pepper, whatever you like to put in yours. I put just a pinch of sugar, of course. And I wanted to show you that this is my water that I boiled the corn in. You can see it hasn't cooled off yet, but when it does, I'll take it out and I'll give it to the plants, give them just a little drink. But it has to be completely cool. And I also wanted to tell you, when you are putting up corn, it is so sticky, and once it dries, it just gets like concrete. So if you don't want to wash everything, at least go ahead and rinse it out. And I didn't do too bad today. I really didn't do too bad as far as getting corn everywhere, so I'm proud of myself. This is what my trash looks like, and I don't compost this. I'm just gonna put it, there's no value in giving it to the chickens, plus they've got plenty of watermelon, so that will go out to the trash. And I appreciate you all watching this video. I appreciate the community that we have on this channel, and I just pray that all of you all have a blessed rest of the day.